So, Ryan, we talk about bands, certain bands have these intangibles to them, these intricacies, things that really make them distinctive, make them really stand out. You and I just did a show on YouTube,
Hmm.
How to Dismantle an Atomic Bomb. When you think of U2, and you and I are both really know their music, they're one of your favorite bands. I like them a lot as well. They're bands that we've had a lot of history with throughout our lives. What do you think are the intangibles of this band? Like who do you think who do you think is really important? What are their important traits as far as their music?
Well, I think firstly, I think the thing that's really cool about you too is that they are such a band. Like I feel like, Bono, for as passionate of a singer as he is, for as great of a lyricist as he is, for as big as a personality as he is, I feel like everybody else is there helping make the songs as powerful as they are. Whether you're looking like Adam and Larry as the rhythm section, because I really do think they're one of the most underrated rhythm sections. I feel like, they do a lot of good stuff on this album, but I feel like especially when you look at their older stuff, like Bullet the Blue Sky and stuff, that's all Adam and Larry there. Like, super powerful stuff. I mean, Sunday Bloody Sunday, that drum hook is what people remember the most, I feel like, um and then also you have Edge, which I know I talked about Edge a little bit on the How to Dismantle an Atomic Bomb video. I just feel like he's one of my favorite guitar players. Like I think that he's not trying to be flashy or complex or anything. I feel like he really treats the guitar more as like a paintbrush than as an instrument. And I think
Absolutely.
that makes him kind of an acquired taste. I know a lot of people who don't like Edge as a guitar player, but for me, I'm like, we have enough Yngwie Malmsteens, enough Eddie Van Halen's, enough, you know, all those like really complex guitar players to where it's cool to see someone use the instrument differently. Like, I feel like he's not as simple as like a punk guitarist. He's definitely more complex than that. He's much more intentional, I feel like. And he also uses his effects and like his pedals and all that to create such a beautiful soundscape. Fantastic guitar lines, great solos, everything to where it's just like super, super powerful. But I feel like Bono, obviously, like so important. I think that he has such a huge personality. I feel like, sometimes for better or for worse. But I feel like in the music, you just really feel what he's singing at all times. Like he, I just feel like he has a tendency to write things that are like true to himself. I feel like it's not like a Led Zeppelin situation where he's singing about like Mordor and stuff. Like I feel like he's singing about things that really make him feel something, whether it's about like his wife, whether it's about his dad, whether it's about things that are going on in the world. Like I feel like whatever it is, he's singing about something that's really powerful to him. And I think because of that, his vocal performances are always so effective. And I just think too, like he really just has one of my favorite voices in rock too. He has his limitations at times, but I think he's just a powerhouse. And it's crazy because I think when he first started in the 70s, like when they first formed, because I think they formed in like 76. Apparently he was not a very good singer at that point in time. So he like really
Right.
worked hard, and came a super long way because I think he has some of the most beautiful vocal performances of all time. Um, yeah, so I think that essentially they're all important for their own things, and I think that you see a band that's been together for 46 plus years at this, or probably no, I mean, I think they started in 76, so probably about 50 years at this point. Maybe 46 since like first album or something like that, but like
Exactly.
yeah, but they've been around for half a century now as a formed band and like, you know, never swapped out members, anything like that. So you just have this like strong bond between them, it seems. It's like unbreakable. I can't really imagine them. I mean, they might do stuff once one of them passes away, but I don't know how you could after that long of being together. So I guess we'll see. But then the other thing that I think is really important is the producers that they've had over time, like Steve Lillywhite, Daniel Lanois, Brian Eno. You know, I am a huge Brian Eno fan, whether it's Roxy Music, his solo career, his work producing for like Talking Heads or U2 or Coldplay, whoever it is. I think he's just one of the most talented people, and he doesn't even consider himself an actual musician. Like, it's just awesome. Like, I just think he's fantastic. But I think that for as talented as the guys in U2 are, their producers, I feel like, are just as important to like that finished product because they just have always had some of the best produced music, in my opinion. It's always sounded so beautiful. But then you see an album like Pop that doesn't have the best production, and you see how different of an effect that has versus the other albums. Um, so yeah, that's kind of where I'm thinking. Like, there's so many little intricacies that make them important.
Well, okay, getting back to your point, it's the same four guys for 50 years. We live in this society now, musically, where we're like, oh, this band doesn't even have any original members anymore. Oh, this band only has one original members. This is the same freaking lineup for 50 years. They started out as, school kids
Hmm.
and they worked their way up and they conquered the world. And no matter they were going through different periods musically, they were very adventurous. Some of these albums worked, Achtung Baby, some of them did not, Pop, but they were very restless. Yes, they went back to their original sound, but it wasn't exactly the original sound. There were more remnants of it.
Hmm.
So they were, the creativity's always been there. To me, the rhythm section has come up with some of the greatest hooks in music. We're talking before we decided to do another show here. Bullet the Blue Sky. That rhythm that Adam and Larry are laying down in that song is timeless.
Hmm.
Maybe a lot of people, maybe younger people, may not know the name of that song, but they know that rhythm.
Hmm.
New Year's Day, after we hear Bono scream and Edge's piano, we hear boom, 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 boom. One of the most memorable bass lines in a rock song, right
Hmm.
there. With or without you, their first number one. Hooks out the wazoo.
Hmm.
It's the rhythm that's carrying that song beneath Bono's wonderful vocal performance. And at the end of the song, where Bono's voice is going into the distance, here comes that wonderful guitar line from Edge. Simple yet effective. And that takes you into the end of the song. I think it's a fantastic ending to an awesome track. And even if we talk about Bono again, look, Bono wonderful vocal performances. I think one of his finest performances is the track one,
Oh yeah.
Young Tung Baby.
That
There's
song's
two
so
you needed,
beautiful.
but one is beautiful. And you know what I think is nearly as beautiful? Same album, God bless you.
Thank you.
So Cruel from the same album.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, his vocal on that is magnificent. You know, this band, I mean, they've faced some criticisms throughout their career, but I think it's just they always had the intangibles. And it's the one, it may be exhibit A of a band where the whole is greater than the sum of its parts.
Definitely.
Because they all had unique talents, but if you were to say, okay, well, who's the best and most talented of them all? Maybe you'd say Bono, because Bono's voice is amazing. But they were all talented, but it was like they knew how important a hook was, and they also knew when less was more.
Hmm.
You mentioned Yngwie Malmsteen. Okay, he is one of the most talented musicians that I've
Hmm.
seen live. But how many of those passages in or songs do you really remember unless you were really big into his work? You could say that about a lot of other musicians, but they were just very distinctive. Edge is one of the most distinctive guitar players that has ever lived. When you hear Edge, you know it's Edge. When you hear Hendrix, you know it's Hendrix. When you hear David Gilmour, we're talking about, you mentioned David Gilmour in the show we did. Yeah, David Gilmour is one of the most has one of the most distinct tones
Hmm.
as a guitarist. I feel that way about Mark Knopfler from Dire Straits.
Oh yeah.
Robin Trower. I mean, people early on, people say he sound like Hendrix. No, he has his own different style. When you hear Trower, you
Hmm.
know it's Trower. And there's certain guys. Later on, we heard Tom Morello. Okay, that's true too. But I don't remember his what he added, what certain guitar lines to songs. I don't remember them. And I'm saying he's a great musician, don't get me wrong, and a great collaborator. I don't remember those lines like I remember Edges.
Yeah.
So say you two didn't have Bono, they just had some other dude singing, right? You're still gonna remember those guitar lines that Edge put in. You talked about the producers. They knew what to emphasize on those recordings. And you're talking about Brian Eno. Brian Eno is just a mastermind.
Hmm.
One of my favorite sounding albums and one of my favorite albums, period, is The Talking Heads Remain in Light.
Oh yeah.
1980, that sounds fantastic. So many other albums that he did with other artists.
Hmm.
Yeah, it was just the intangibles really stuck out with this band. I mean, even the stuff that was not as successful, I wasn't a fan of the song Numb, but
Hmm.
there were certain hooks in that song that you remembered.
Definitely.
I think it was the vocal that ruined it for me, Edge's spoken word thing. Beautiful Day. I mean, I was talking about the rhythm section. That rhythm laid down by Larry and Adam on Beautiful Day is wonderful. But you remember every part of that song. I mean, they all added something very distinctive. So intangibles out the wazoo with this band. And yeah, okay, we remember their big albums, but they did a lot of great stuff earlier. Maybe not all the albums were great. We certainly like all you uh, well, all that you can't leave behind, but also how to dismantle an atomic bomb a lot. Yeah, but yeah, the intangibles insane with this band.
Yeah. I just feel like with whatever or I would say like 90% of the time, whatever genre they're trying to do, they bring some kind of beauty to it as well.
Yes.
I think that's something that's really important about them. Because I mean, you mentioned one. That's probably my second favorite U2 song of all time. I
Nice.
mean, that's another one where I can't listen to that without getting a tear in my eye. It's one of the most beautiful songs ever written. There's just so much heart in that. Like it's you just can't fake something like that, I feel like, and I just yeah, I mean that sometimes they just have some where the streets have no names. Walk on, um, Pride in the Name of Love. Like there's so many songs where'd they come up with this? It's just like I I feel like, you know, bands have tried to sound like them before, but no one's quite done it. It's just like I really think it is like the heart. Like it's just so beautiful what they've done so many times throughout the years. Walk On, that's one of the most beautiful songs I've ever heard. Like I love it.
That was something else too. On Grant's Rock Warehouse, we would talk about our favorite songs, our 10 favorite songs from a particular year. I remember when we did 1988, one of my 10 favorites was Angel of Harlem
Mm.
off of Rattle and Hum, which I adore that song. I love the Rattle and Hum album.
Yeah, All I Want Is You.
Stop reading my mind.
Yeah, that's
That's
oh,
what I was gonna say. As soon as you started talking about one again, I thought of All I Want Is You. I'm thinking to myself, why did I not put that in my top 10? Because I like that even more than Angel of Harlem. But All I Want Is You
it's
is amazing.
so beautiful.
It is.
And once again, it's about his wife. It's just like he knew what to write about because it was what he was really feeling.
Absolutely. It was weird. That was the fourth single. And I think that's why it didn't chart high. I think they kind of just stopped putting money into the album. I think if they put that out as the second single after Desire, I think a lot more people would. It would have been like a universal song rather than a song that a lot of YouTube fans really love.
Yeah, I mean, I know I've played that song to people who aren't like huge U2 fans. Like, this is a beautiful song. I'm like, no, absolutely. And it's not even like, I mean, yeah, it's a fan favorite, but
Right.
it's not like one of their most known songs.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if they ever played that live. Maybe not because of the orchestration at the end, but it's like something I want to look up on Setlist FM later on to see if they ever did. But
Was
oh
it
my
a
God.
Moog they used for that?
Oh, okay. That
Or
you may
was it?
I'm not sure. I thought well maybe they did do that. I mean, they probably had the money to bring in an orchestra because they were the biggest band in the world at that point, but maybe they did do that
I'm not sure.
with a
I'm
Moog.
trying to
Maybe they did
remember
do it with
now.
a Moog. It makes more sense that they did, but it sounds like an orchestra at the end. But
Yeah.
you know more about that stuff than I do. So yeah, I'm
Yeah.
going to side with you on that.
I'm trying to remember if that's I think it is. I might be wrong, but is that one I feel like they had somebody come in that was like pretty big too to do it.
Okay.
Was that am I completely like off right now? Or was like
No, I
Van
don't.
Dyke
No,
Parks?
I think you probably know better than me on that end of the album.
Yeah, I'm
No,
not
I
sure.
I mean we can look it up, but I mean, yeah, I would probably gear toward what you're gonna say about it. I always thought it was an orchestra at the end. I mean, but they didn't have any orchestra the rest of the album, I remember. So
Yeah.
you're probably right.
I'm gonna look that up later.
Yeah. Everyone out there, thank you for watching. Let us know why are you two so great? Is it the intangibles that we're talking about, the little intricacies, the productions. What do you think of U2's music and their albums? Please let us know in the comments. Thank you again for watching the show. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks.